So I don't usually make videos about news or features or things like that. There's enough YouTubers and websites out there that cover all that kind of stuff in detail, so I don't really waste my time with it unless something comes along that directly affects what I do. The most recent Madden press release came out. It contained the usual mumbo jumbo buzzwords and nonsense that probably won't make any difference, but one little sentence did catch my eye in a big way. New depth chart positions like edge, nose tackle, long snapper, and gadget reflect the modern NFL. If this means what I think it means, it could really be a game changer for me. And I don't use that term very lightly because most of the time the stuff they say and do really makes no difference. We all know that's just marketing talk and crap you put on the back of the box to sell the next edition of Madden. But what makes this different for me, let's take Abdul Carter for example. So when I create draft classes, edge rushers especially, there's some other positions, but that's the one I usually have trouble with. I can put him at defensive end or outside linebacker. Now you know, depending on the type of defense a team runs, he can play any number of positions. But when it comes to the draft, a team that has the need at pass rush, say a 4-3 team that needs a defensive end. Abdul Carter's an outside linebacker. They're not going to draft him. They just go by the position that he's at, not what he provides as a defender. Same with a team that runs a 4-3 defense. They're going to pick a pass rushing outside linebacker even though he doesn't fit the scheme at all and there's not a need. So before that, you just would put him at defensive end or outside linebacker and hope for the best. So if this means what I think it means, then edge rusher will be an entirely new position that I can throw those guys at, which would make a huge difference for me because there's several different defensive end outside linebacker archetypes. You know, you got the big 3'4", 300-pound run stuffing end. You got a 6'2", 220-pound coverage linebacker. You got the 6'3", 250-pound pass rusher. All those guys can play outside linebacker or defensive end depending on the scheme. So if they can further differentiate all of those positions, I think it would help a lot when it comes to creating draft classes and having the computer draft the players as well. To a lesser extent, I'm lukewarm to the idea of actually having long snappers in the game. As someone who does the offseason rosters, they would always just throw the long snapper into the tight end position and he'd be rated like a 26 overall. The computer would never put him as an actual long snapper in the depth chart, so it was just a waste of roster space and he would be cut pretty much immediately. So having a dedicated position for that is pretty solid when it comes to having the rosters be 100% accurate. And I wonder if they're going to have a spot in the draft classes for long snappers as well, because there are a few guys every year that do come out and sometimes they're even drafted. So to have that, have a few guys in that position would be a little bit of step toward the right direction of being more immersive as well. As far as nose tackle, I don't really know how they're going to implement that. Usually in a 3-4 defense, you have that big run stuffing nose tackle. You have a defensive tackle that plays at one end and more of a big pass rusher at the other end. So I don't know how they're going to handle that, but anything better than what they do now, especially with the defensive position requirements, would be a help. I'm not sure how Madden's AI is going to handle these new positions, if they're going to move them by themselves, if it's just going to be a new position that they strictly draft for or whatever. But anything helps. It's been so plain for the past 20 years with the depth charts. I'm glad they finally decided to address it. It's going to help me out a lot. Hopefully it's going to make these draft classes even better, and I look forward to seeing how it's implemented. This is a short video. I just wanted to talk a couple minutes about something I found interesting and share it with you guys. Hopefully it'll make creating draft classes, creating rosters, drafting, construction, all that good stuff just a little bit better for everybody. Anytime Madden can actually work on franchise mode and things like this, I always take it as a breath of fresh air because it's just such a rare thing these days. I've been working a lot on the website, getting my Madden 26 draft classes in order. It's been a slow time of year. I don't put videos out just for the hell of it. If I see something that's not interesting to you guys, I'm not going to keep on just putting things out there. So slow time of year, but I'm ready to crank up for this next group of football games coming out in the next month or two. And I look forward to talking to you guys and having a lot more content coming soon. So thanks as always, and I'll talk to you soon.